Best character. Best take on the character. There's young girl nice from a Gilded look. She must have been the one who caused the disturbance before. Well, after that rather eventful retest, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGill. Now then, Lord Van Six. My lord, I believe you decided the cause of smoke spilled proceedings earlier. These have been an advanced form of smoke grenades, of the sort simply employed by the army. Good gracious, the army? What in the devil's name? It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery, but she was caught. And now occupies the stand. Your name, girl? Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom? What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior? If I may, my lord. Yes, Mr. McGilded. I think perhaps I ought to explain here why it is that this week last year here the best reason why she tied the boat like that. This all tied up with the events of that night, so it is. Very well, Miss McGilded, give your temper. We will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in the case. Wait a minute, that's new. This is a whim because like it mentioned like the cut like the interior thing was like well it's just well this one is so obvious so yeah, Fancy's made no mention of it. Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Are you ready, counsel? Yes, my lord. Or rather, no, I don't know where to start. I was thinking about that I got like the Great Apes learning. I love the cutaways. On the writing correction, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. And when you first got on the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board? There were not. The cabin was empty and there was no one on the roof deck either. You were the best passenger, as it were. I see. Aye, and that's why I took the back side as I did. That was the most comfortable, so it is. Could you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat? By all means, this is how you described it earlier. About the seat opposite the one in which the poor gentleman was stabbed was sitting. Like I said, this is the most comfortable and where I feel like most at ease. And of course, I enjoy gazing to the skylight from time to time as well. Then, begorra, a loud thud and a wee scream woke me up and a fair start. A loud thud, you say, not scream. Aye, that's right, how can I explain it? It was like the sound of someone falling to the ground, that sort of noise. So you think it was the sound of Mr. Mason falling to the floor having been stabbed? Well, now you remember I was asleep at the time, I would like to say. And when the sun woke me up and opened my eyes, there wasn't so to be seen the cars with the pair and the four. You didn't see anyone, but the same moment you did hear a scream. Ah, I could see someone in the roof deck, I presume. Not above me, my lord. It was from inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about that scream. No, I was too stunned by the desperate sight before my eyes. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at my feet. So I sat him up on the seat across from me. Hold it! You sat him up, the victim you mean? That I did? On the seat across from me is what it said? And you wouldn't leave a dead man who's lying on the floor now, would you? 'Tis common courtesy, so it is. I find that a little hard to believe. Lord Radcliffe Six, Now why would that be? To wake the final man lying dead at your feet in a carriage. And a noble person would hail the cabin. Any upstanding member of London society, please. Well now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business. The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest. Unfortunately, my lord, whatever the stank, but what the hell do I offer them? And someone will even see me dead. So I do try, if at all possible, to avoid getting myself in a tangle with trouble. Are you suggesting you're going to lead the man there? Heaven is alive, nor I was waiting in her portrait, so I was. Only I don't mind Twilight the Wise and Wherefores first. The Wise and Wherefores. Right you are. There were some details I want to understand before anyone else got the meddling. The wee scream I had, for example. Wouldn't your girl self do just the same? Yes. Then I tend to find out where that skin can come from, and bless myself, what did I find?
Hold it!
I'm afraid I don't understand. Until you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage except yourself and the victim. So I did, sir, so I did. As far as I could see, that is. What do you mean by that? But now, this a queer thing. The whiskey I heard as I woke up, it came from, if you see the burger expression, under my backside. Good gracious. Under your backside? And when I lifted the seat at which I've been sitting, I found there was a wee cubby hole there for storage. So hold on, we can send on ourselves, remember? Yes, of course, help us. That's when I found her. There was a child in there, all curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away.
Hold it!
You say she was hiding herself? Aye, that's right. It was hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in the wee ball when our eyes met. Well, my heart didn't stop beating in my chest. Oh, you're really overacting this. Still and all, I pulled her up from under there and sat her on the seat opposite so I could have a wee chin wag with her. The seat opposite. That's right, just next to the dead gentleman there. You sat this young girl next to a corpse, eh? Whereas, as I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can often find himself in a mortal danger. So, I need to find out who this urchin was, you see. And when I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream, a fella's voice this time. So the scream was her purse who was sitting on the roof-like seats. Right jar again, I would say, sir. Looking down to the skylight, he must have seen this young girl and the gentleman with the knife in his belly. In other words, the police did not in fact see you at all, Mr. McKippet. What they believed to be yourself the victim was in fact this girl and the late Mr. Mason. Aye, my lord. I was, as I think everyone understands now, sat at the back of the carriage out of sight. It is certainly plausible that the defendant is somewhat diminutive in stature, and readily confused perhaps with this young girl. After that, of course, with the scream from the gentleman over us, the driver realized something was wrong and pulled up the horses. Thank you, I've heard enough. The events explained are clear in my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who is the girl? Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. Now you know why I like the character. It's Lestrade. She's a chancer, earns a crust among large crowds, robbing people of their purses. Was commonly called a pickpocket. What? This girl here, a petty thief. Order! Order! Is it true, Is this true, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade, you will answer the question. Ah! How dare you! What is the meaning of this? Ah! The girl, she's gone. Open your eyes. Open your eyes? Open your eyes. I'm over here. I need to different. Good gracious, how? What was the point of the little sidestep? I know what you lot are thinking. Chronicles are what to say. Deserted the deeper, you say, slip up and got caught up with the job. She got herself back to the corner so she knifed the gent. Gone? That's what's in your hairs, ain't it? No, not at all. This is a court of law. We're here to determine the truth, not cast. Gah! Look, knives are for cowards. Only thugs use weapons like that. All I need are for what are these fingers? I'm a person, alright? Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do. Gotta make it noble but also cockney. Let me guess, you don't count smoke guns among weapons for thugs. Oh, this? Yeah, this was in the bag I looked at the other day. Down where they keep the four-wheeled drags. It's nice, innit? I like the pink best. That's from Holmes, isn't it? Ah, do not point that thing in my direction again! So, you admit that you were riding the omnibus on the night in question. Tis alright, lass, you can tell them the truth now. Alright. Yeah, it's just like the Ayasman said. The court assesses girl Miss Gina Lestrade as a valid and significant witness in this case. According, young lady, you will now hear your testimony if you please. You will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus on the night in question. Alright, if I had to. Can't do girl voices that much, it's like, yeah. Unless you want Lolly. So, I snuck inside the carriage before they booked out with the horses like always. But it was a right old waste of time. I got into so many troubles that night. I tell ya, you can see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pits in there. Then after a while, I hear this loud bang. Nearly jump out of my skin, I did. And the screen just came out. It's because of that, this well found me. He did help me get away, mind. Yes, he let you go. I feel understand why you would let this street urchin go, Mr. Gilded. Oh, this simplicity is simplicity itself, my lord. You see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I knew that for a fact. How? As I'm sure I said before, sir. I was sitting right on top of her. I think a demonstration is called for. This is where I was at that night, and the cubbyhole, obviously where smoking is, underneath the seat, I presume. Yes, it does appear. Aye, but of course, the wee lass is stuck in there, because I parked myself in the seat for the duration. Ah, so you see, that's why I let the lass bolt. I knew that the police found her there, they automatically assumed she done it. But I couldn't let myself put it on my was certain all that I did was innocent. Even though you must have realized your action only sought your own innocence being called into question, Mr. McGill. Not at all, my lord, not at all. I knew in my own heart I was innocent. So I thought it was worth taking a pot to my own good name for the sake of the less fortunate lass. My goodness. But the perfect gentleman. My lord, this spice man cannot possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this. I'm saying myself but doubting you, sir. We can't calculate reasoning when the right create the truth every time. Wait, so I don't even get to like cross-examine her? Saints alive! All 6 members of the jury consensual in their leaning to a verdict of non-guilty. So Naruhodo, this, well, it must mean what? That we're victorious. We won? Are you sure?
Objection.
Ah, here's the leg slam. With the sight of my iron-heeled Wellington opens. Pray, do forgive this courtesy. This really is a consummate example of one monumental flaw in British judicial practices. Where evidence reason to be paramount, emotion rules the day. Emotion? The witness's latest statement gives us a clear insight into his true nature. What do you mean, his true nature? Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, thousands of groceries searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior discovery as well as bullet was included in their investigation. The compartment under the posterior seat was pulled up to the coast with its belongings. It's noted in the black and white here in the police report. Good lord! The evidence has been tampered with. In order to corroborate Mr. McGill's story, someone has probably removed everything from under the seat. What? Order! Order! How could such a devious contrivance also have been effected, Counsel? Naturally, Mrs. Holland's the businesses of the constabulary in allowing this to have happened. However, I assure you, with the omnibus wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty. Well, my neighbor's friend? Me? Well, the carriage was submitted as evidence. That was examined in fine detail, as would any self-representing practitioner of the law. Pray, what did you find the condition of the under-seat compartment to be? Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in the GP. Sorry? Go ahead, get at the court now, fella. Have this on elaborate excuse for the death withdrawn by the Sikhs. Well, Counsel, you had something to say in this matter. What was the answer? When I first examined the compartment, I'm pretty certain there were a number of articles inside it, yes. Are you sure, Counsel? Be wise. What are you saying now, you daft doll? I thought you were on my side here. What game are you playing? Your task is to defend the man on the stand, or you see something to compromise his position. As the advocate for the defense in this trial, I confess I'm still not entirely sure where I stand, but it seems to me that I should state what facts I do know as clearly and honestly as possible. Interesting. This is not altogether pleasing, fella. I'm simply telling the truth, Mr. McGilded. Well, don't forget that you're supposed to be representing my best interests here, lad. Now then. A fella's memory is a curious thing, not altogether reliable. Note the court must consider the facts. That the cup of the seat is as empty as the devil's heart, so it is. Do you think perhaps it will be in your best interest to admit you might have been mistaken? I should like the jury to weigh in on this matter, I think. The compartment is assigned to house equipment used to maintain the smooth running of the carriage. The guild's rules state that honors to be properly and fully equipped at all times. Certainly would have been empty in the 9 in question, Beppo isn't that irresponsible. That my linen pleaser and the pickpurse are lying. Can't believe what's nearly taking in. The sinking rich are always stinkers, and the cats allowed them. What? Oh no. It's a trick, of course it's a trick. Quite so, I must concur here. We can't calculating one of its two every time. My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly, a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate. Thank you, Counsel. While we proceed further, there is a matter to the sounding cross-examination. Counsel of defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please. Okay, so, we'll press the fifth statement first.
Hold it!
That's suspicious. And when Mr. McGilded discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place. A scared stiff I was, he dragged me out. Sat me down on the seat and all. Next to the victim, Mr. Mason. Yeah, the block had a knife in his guts. He was still bleeding. Then the cat sliced a bit and ended up falling onto me. Ugh, how awful. Both his hands got covered in blood, made me feel sick as a dog. After that, I believe you talked with Mr. McGilded for a while, is that correct? He asked me some stuff. Wanted to know my name and what I was up to and all that. Then I heard something from up, someone screamed. Yes, he's the president of Root Tech, one would presume. But I didn't want no one seeing my face. So I didn't look up. And the horse is thrown of smartness and the Irishman says to me, get back on the... Oh, he's an Irishman? But Marcus... Well, yeah, he's an Irish surname as well, but like, we'll go with Scott still. Get back under the seat. I'll see that you can get away later. Same moment, yes. One, two, and then three.
Hold it!
So you couldn't see us out in the cabin at all. Not a jot, most days. I pushed the cushion up with my head out and look at the crack. Then I have a boots because I'm fiddle. I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher. I mean, I can have a look. The seat I got under ain't as plus as the other one, see? So most of the time, the under passes is opposite. But for some reason that night, this year Eisen spent the whole journey right over my head. And for that reason, you were able to push the cushion up to peek out, I see. Truth is, I am too happy in small dark places.
Well, no.
Feels much like being thrown into the clink.
Excuse me.
Is something wrong, Mr. McGilded? Oh, I do apologize. Was it something the matter, Counsel? I'm just wondering if Mr. Lestrade's comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself. Oh, no, it was nothing important. I was feeling bad with the poor lass's soul. I'm really feeling desperate when I was a young lad. Shut up in the dark. It was terrifying, so it was. I see, yes, but it's all sympathize. Just scared of the dark now. I don't know what you said, but I find that the darkness seems to make everything you hear seems much louder as well. Yeah. I suppose it does. Maybe. Strad, did you hear something that night? Anything unusual noise, perhaps? Nah, not really. All I heard was the Irishman snoring. But Jebus, that's only to tell a whole lot of people able to see the scam. The pity, my missus had heard something my biggest fault be. It's wrong important. My lord, I believe the statement just made with the witness is profoundly important. Profoundly important, but all she said was that she's heard nothing. Yes, this is probably important plot. Oh, sure of it. I'm most sure to understand the inner workings of the Eastern Mind Council, nevertheless. Miss Kina Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating that last statement, please. What? Supplement? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk, I know what you're trying to do, but it won't work on me. That's right, it's all the judge, so it's a good move. Okay, so that line... McGilded was like snoring, so that means he couldn't have been like, gotten her out then, right?
Hold it!
So you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time, since the moment you hid yourself. So, I mean, it also means like, although they heard the snore, they couldn't have heard the victim scream or appears like, die. Not exactly, no. Sorry? Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push the cousin up and never put to see what was what. But then, when I saw the swell getting on, and I got my head done, so they didn't notice me. I missed my little son on the seat under which you were hiding, correct? Yeah, with your Adam and Eve there, out of mug. So then all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out there as soon as I heard him leave, you see. But would they? Not likely, even though he was stopping it and never heard the door open. Just had to stay put and listen to him driving his pigs in parkets like the old dog he was. Yeah, it doesn't add up. Mr. Stroud, what you just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts. Ah, at odds? Are you sure, man? Absolutely. You see, my learned Nipponese friend is as dull-witted as I feel it. The man seems to realize it too. The courtroom the goal of the courtroom is not for verdicts, but to find out the truth. And to establish the facts. That is the goal of both sides. Counsel, I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence, or some complicit parties named at the very least. I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court. According to Miss Stroud, what he was hiding. In the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGillis snoring, but think, Krishna, think. Yeah, my voice is starting to cut off because I guess it's hurting now. Very well, my lord, allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Miss Rod could not have failed to hear in the night in question.
Take that!
Thrice-fired Mason? Yes, my lord, the sound that Miss Rod could not have failed to hear is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus. Order, explain your reasoning, Katsu. Mrs. Rod, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person to board the omnibus, is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got on without the driver was in the pub, didn't I? And the next person to board the omnibus was Mr. Gilded. That it was. Though the sword was in the cabin when I climbed aboard, at least not in plain sight. So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at the time. Did I just not say as much? Wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? To the crack on the seat cushion. He was on his own for sure. And, from what I've heard, the car's made a number of stops with it on his onward journey. During which time did you not hear the door opening? Nah, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was looking for, wasn't it? When it was well to leave. In which case, when and how did the victim end up with the cards? Ah! We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Mrs. Roth's statement what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Ah. Oh, you're accusing me of booby-trapping? Yes, this petty statement is clearly flawed. Lord Ban Sikhs. Yes, he knew altogether there was inconsistency with Mr. Strand's statement. Your same words of thanks are in all points and friends. What are you talking about? You have demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths and nothing more. Is that right? It's now 3 hours and we're doing this now. Ah, she didn't even say anything. I didn't want to just deal with the night just because he has a rather naughty ways. But I must say, I can't abide liars. Neither can I. Mr. Foreman. What's that support about? Ah. I say it's 4 because. Yes, very repressive. Ah! What are you playing at? Have you forgotten you're working for the uses Eastern Amadan? This carnage is perfect. Oh, don't tell me he's like a. Wait a minute, you're number 3. Is he based on Jack the Ripper? Nah, guess not. There's only one left. It is going. I know.
Hold it!
Yes, the Will's last statements use a real consistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her last statement is in fact the truth, it makes an entirely new light on this whole case. What are you saying? Counsel? I'm sorry, sir, what do you mean? Counsel, I will not tolerate attempting to prolong the education. I paid up at once. When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand. And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage. How do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance at the cabin of the omnibus? There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. There's another entrance. It's the sunroof. If the door wasn't opened even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way.
Objection!
I wonder what new fantasy you'd come up with your blind new panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is burned through the door. The others have only windows. Fixed windows which cannot possibly open. In short, there is no other entrance to the cabin other than the door.
Objection!
But there could be. There's one possibility you hadn't considered. Oh, really? Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening to use which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin. Alright, counsel. The fence will identify the location up for the court. Here's the omnibus on which the incident occurred. Where on earth is this entrance by which you propose the victim entered the cabin?
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight. I say, the skylight.
Objection!
Your ludicrous proposal is actually lost for words, however.
Objection!
The skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through.
Objection!
So you claim you have a solid evidence to support your idle brain theory? Do we have evidence? Both Mr. McGill and Mr. Stroud say in their testimonies, they each claim to have heard a loud thud such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained, as the sound of the victim falling to the seat having been assaulted with a dagger. Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat on the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witness described? A noise loud enough to cause Mr. Stroud to let out an involuntary cry, in fact. Good gracious. Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin, he fell into it.
Objection!
You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin? That's simply impossible. How can you be so sure? Because if the victim had fallen inside to the side, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. And yet, not one person made mention of such events in their testimony. Well, yes, that's true, but... hold it. What a humble fella, make a wee comment here. Mr. Gilded. To be sure now, the two fellows who sat on the roof that testified afore said nothing of the victim falling to the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that it's not much a case of them not saying, but it's a case of them being unable to say. What? I think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would you also not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Oh my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof. You mean the ones who stuck that knife in the man? Ah! This one that's having insinuating here, you error. You rotter, you said you rotter? How did you insinuating? There's a playing outrage. I'll have good mind to give you a blinker in a minute. I was just checking something. You could be a sinner, but she said, so would I. Mr. Berkeley. You're better accusing me as a gentleman of well-respected backer. And me, a very angry hatter. Suggesting to someone like me could have stabbed a Pendergast, it's a disgrace, it's scandalous, it's I protest in the strongest possible terms. That's why I protest too, what you rotten scoundrel. I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stag. Return to the anteroom at once. My lord, if I may comment. Go ahead, Lord Manseeks. It was the defense that decided this outburst from the witnesses. My lord Brenda seemed to have violated all protocol and accused the witnesses without proof. Accused? I never intended to. The scene is young to believe that your command of English tongue is wanting. The proposal is court to the victim fell through the skylight in the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have terminated their criminal guilt. Now, for this course of law, that was termed a baseless accusation. What a waste of time, Paul. Getting to testify. I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on that fellow. You have to see this matter through now, one way or another. There's Bill and Robbins in the midst, and must dispose of it at once. It's a fair play in Mr. First. My lord. You will take the stand again and give a formal testimony, in reference to the indictment brought to the defense. Yes, my lord. I didn't come here for this. It's true. Good, well, only two people up on the roof deck. Dead or alive, I can swear to that. Everything had happened when we were sitting. Don't you think one or the other of us would have known this? In any case, none of us know. The first thing about the victim, we had no reason to kill a man. This card was set in at time, I tell you. You couldn't possibly open it. We also showed a victim fell to the skylight. Where's your proof? I must say that the testimony is somewhat hard to imagine. How either with this could have performed any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck. That the other noticing portrait. That's right. You see? By innocent, I tell you. But logically, of course, the argument falls down to two of you were in collusion with one another. What? According to the investigation by Scotland Yard, the wizards have no common meaning. Well, I don't trust coppers anymore than I trust sticking writs. Council of Defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please. Oh, yes, my lord. Let's see. Press on that one.
Hold it!
So, you had never met that Mr. Tri-Spired Mason before? Oh no, not once, never. You never met the man before, he said? Never. And you, Mr. Peirce, had no prior dealings with the victim either? That's right, sir. That doesn't have much to do with Big Mace, to be perfectly honest, sir. No, I imagine not. You see, how many different ways can I put this? None of us have any modus connection.
No.
The gentlemen were inside the cabin.
Excuse me.
Mr. Gilded? Yes, Count, sir. What can I be doing here for? Did the witness last statement give you pause for thought somehow? Not the remotest connection. Is that right now, I wonder? What are you insinuating now? Mr. Fairplay, it has been too long? I'd say it has. Eh? If I'm not mistaken, I believe this past protein, is it not? Your repayment date? I beg your pardon. You bought 20 guineas from me, sir? And the scofful rate of interest, you trick me, it's extortion. Oh, now, is that a touch of begrudgery, is it? That sort of begrudgery that might motivate the fella to pass his crimes off on another? And young Mr. Peirce. Me, sir? What do you want to be, sir? To be making house for a living, do you not? That their top side of the head is about to be our own creations, is it? Oh, well, I'm just still an apprentice, you understand? And I need to find the perfect fit for whatever pint it wants to the door. The perfect fit is it? Well, it's a very distinctive design, so it is. But it comes like it, I tell you, they like a distinctive touch. Customers, such as Tri-Spired Mason. There's a photographic print of the victims with this evidence support, my lord. Oh, this you mean? Can I take it that the poor fellow's hat looks distinctly familiar, would you say? That's one of my hats. That it is. So you see, the big maker was a customer of yours. So, customer, I wager you could have had a quick quarrel with over the distinctiveness of the goods. Oh, no, sir. Absolutely not, sir. But to say nothing more to add, it would be right to say that the police were having the remotest connection to the victim, you see. I rest my case. The weasel? He's better than I am. Of course, which we to the research, hasn't he? Please, don't let me interrupt and hold up the proceedings. Right. Port line. Are you quite certain about that? That the skylight was shut the entire time? I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute. He's going to lose his rag with you in a minute, that's what he said. Take a look at yourself, gone. You see, this had passed now, just like it was on that night. So it is, of course. A pair the size of Mr. Mason could likely break through it, so still and all. What? Just look at the size of the thing, you understand. I'll tell you hold there, Minister. The size of the thing means nothing. On its own, let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we? Let's stop by the arcane, shall we? I was wondering, Mr. London, if you someone well, I broke wind loudly. I saw perceptively as it happens. This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First. Oh, I just want to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, see? But just my luck, I couldn't make it budge, the stench was terrible. Everyone was looking down at me, sir. I was as red as Ruse, see? Expecting me to sentence you? Oh, no, sir. The point is, the sky can't be opened. I tried and tried, and I tried to cancel it.
That ain't.
Our detective in the making.
Excuse me.
There's something to say about that, Mrs. Strahd. Mr. Strahd. It opens? The skylight. That's what we're talking about, right? All the skylights open? That easy? I want to see that you can load the weapon. That's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise I would have worked in. You can't do it from the inside, you mug. Oh. Look, a few weeks ago I was up on the route like one of them drags. I had a great haul, I mean, I had policies coming out my ass. Mr. Strahd, this is not the point for you eulogizing the subject of your criminal activities. Well, anyway, I was a bit scared. When I did the last boss first, he got wise to me. All problems handed me, so I couldn't open the Boston leg it. So what I did was I used the skylight, opened the cats, and jumped right through. What? Yeah, the cats with them skylights is on the outside. That's why you can't open them from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck. Philip! Climb up on the roof with honest advance and verify this with his claims. Ah! Oh, my hat. See? Order! 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 So, it appears that this street girl's statement is quite true. I can't believe it, the skylight opens and we're on the roof deck. Mr. Hodo, this will be the clue we're looking for. Well, Council of the Defense, please continue with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. So the skylight opens. Rest of the myself. Examine. Go to the door. You're assuming you have to examine from the inside because we tried examining from the outside. So the cast of the sky is the top side. Yes, but it's not past the moment. We decide it from here. Yes, it does open it right, and now it kicks on like two truths early. It's not though. Why sound like me? Ah, what is it? Look, it's here. It's pressed blood. If it was actually like blood that's been there for a long while, it would have basically been dark already. That's where there's blood. There's a blood stain there. Surely it can't be underneath the case, can it? Right, I think that's what we all need to do.
Objection!
On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach. Immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the sky into the can below. Those are the facts, and the removal of pube remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom. What? That's utter humbug. Ah, you can't have any evidence. No, you can't. I mean, you didn't do it, I tell you. It's possible. You're a beautiful fruit here in this courtroom. Counsel? My lord, I believe everyone here will be a little clarification here, Where exactly within the omnibus is evidence to which you allude? You will point out what it is that proves a victim fell from the roof deck through the skylight. Listen.
Got it!
By Jupiter, is that blood? This blood stain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the sky of the omnibus was open. What? And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. Oh my. And so it follows that Mr. Gilded was inside the closed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. No. Order! Order! Order!
Hold it!
But the blood could have sprayed up there when the crowd was stabbed inside the cabin. And only found its way to that one particular spot on the skylight. Sure, and that would be very convenient. And let's keep it in mind that the skylight cast can only be fastened with the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I? But, there's a way with a precedence there. I mean, the big bells of the skylight, I mean. Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. First? It's all too plain, you see. There's the artifact that shows the full pellet drop from fair height right there, so it is. What? No. But it can't be. It's all lies.
Hold it!
My fellow jury members. I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we? I believe we can, yes sir. It's clear to me now where the guilty robbers can be found in this courtroom. So, they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they? I won't tolerate and the guild's carriages being soiled with blood. I won't tolerate it. Oh, there's still the nice gentleman who gave us a life of 5 couldn't have done such a thing. On 3 then, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Objection!
Objection! A chilling performance, Mr. McGilded. Oh, and what will you be planning to do now, Lord Brand 6? A blood stain on the floor, you say? Such evidence is null and void. What? Why? For one simple reason. That smear of blood never existed.
Objection!
What are you talking about? It's therefore to say it's clearly blood.
Objection!
I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb. So I can say with absolute certainty, no such smear of blood existed in the cabins. At least not until this trial began. But, are you suggesting, Lord Banksy, that the stain of blood was fabricated, my lord? Yes. I want this court, no less. Hehe, what a palaver! I must say the inspector such good reasoning from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord Banksy. But that's why I was confident it would be easy. But I'm Magnus Magirit, a paramount all over the capital's fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander and abide it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling out the tongue of the reaper of the Bailey. Mr. McGilded, I realize it is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature. And you're very adept when it comes to getting your own hands dirty. If something happens that the cases you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the packs. Adapt the packs? What does that even mean? When you wield the fortune the size of Mr. McGilded, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with the evidence, manipulating the scene of the crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir. Tut, Lord Van Six, this will not do, to be sure. Put it now, counsel. Huh? Oh, no. I think it's fair to say that this all sounds better best excused by a desperate man. The blood of starlight doesn't exist, you say? But if you all cast your minds back, is it not true that the calmness there has been in the courtroom this entire time? How can anyone possibly put a smear of blood in it without the whole world and his wife seeing? Is that right now, counsel? My learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on the matter in your own words. As you wish. Concerning the time with the onwards during the trial, if you're asking me, I think... It's the best story if I jot it, but still... I feel also there's something even more important at stake here. There is no evidence to suggest that Bennett did as my learned press suggests. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility. Oh, good gracious. Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, there is. It is my Lord Deputy's friend so intent of running from this deceit. As everyone still remembers clearly, the recess that we were forced to take. As a result of smoke grenade powered by the witness currently stand Miss Gina Lestrade. What's going on? The courtroom was filled with smoke and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us remained to leave the chamber. In that brief interval under the veil of smoke and all the chaos, it could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus. Are you wise? What are you trying to fool, you rotten, feckless Gogger? Feckless Gogger? You're supposed to be defending me. There's a wicked plot. There's a plot to undermine me, so it is.
Objection!
Whatever you think it is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After the courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenades, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus. Inconsistencies such as... To start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat. When the police investigated the omnibus, the compartment was full of driver's samples. Secondly, we had the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I had said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning. Unfortunately, on bench seats, no one seemed to corroborate your claims. According to Pete, we cannot decide with any certainty this evidence is a result of tampering or not. Indeed, my lord. No doubt there are sensible swears in the soft pit to verify such things. What do you think? Sorry? What the omnibus? Is there anything unusual on the omnibus? I have an inkling. My lord? Yes, counsel? There is one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial. What? What in the devil's name are you going to say now? If you dare to betray me, little maggot, you're... Silence, my Gilded. The court awaits the pen's clarification. Grr. I shall have to ask you to elaborate, counsel. Where exactly is this large mark that you claim appeared at some point during the trial?
Got it!
Got it? If you consider that the victim fell through the skylight at the port of the cabin, you would certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But as far as I recall, this blood stain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom. Good lord! Yes, I do believe you're correct, counsel. Well said. Although, as advocate of the defense, one might say that was a very careless slip of the tongue. I believe that blood stain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether the evidence is genuine or whether it was solely fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there's a possibility that the evidence is fake. This trial is over. Mr. Gilded, I've done everything I can to cooperate with the court, but it's all over now. But you're the defendant. It's over, I tell ye. Memory, recollection, what people think they saw? It's all a nonsense. Facts are what counts. The fact is the blood stain is there now. Well, now with the course of the trial long and instantly drawn out as it has been, that good brought and grief at the barriers failed to present any decisive evidence at all. And scandalized so I am, I thought better of Lord Bad 6. Where, my lord? I must concur with the defendant. The napalm recollection of the individual cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence, and the absence of any credible method by which to prove his discoveries non-existence. Oh, if only Sherlock was here. I regret to say that it would have be improper for this trial to continue. The lawsuit can't be serious. Lord Van Six, what is your position? The prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present. Very well. In that case, as I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter, I shall proceed to my adjudication. As a formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defense first. What formality? Gilded found not guilty. Yes. It's mainly one. The very direct outcome here is really alright with Stripe and now. Counsel for the defense, your closing statement, please. Yes, my lord. The defense believes. Let me just go to the back for a second. Just as a reminder, folks, this last time we were pretty much like doing an entire chapter, finishing a chapter, or episode in one stream. Every chapter from then on, feels like if it's investigation, it will only be the investigation stream. If it's a trial stream, it's a trial stream. Yeah, we know what's gonna happen. What are you saying, Mac? Without any question, there is no conclusive evidence to prove the defendant is guilty. However, there's also conclusive evidence to prove that he is innocent. Good gracious me! Order! Order! This is unprecedented behavior, counsel. A defense lawyer calling the accused innocent into question. Are you of sound mind? It was a grand decision. No point, just my lawyer. So it was a grand decision. What? I must say, I didn't expect such a quite a certain spectacle at the end there, but still. Here, have this for your troubles. The job here is done, fella. And some fine work you done, so you have. What do you mean? This is just the right ultimate gentleman wants to put it before. The trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, how do you put it now? Nothing more than a formality. I really don't know what to make of all this. Was the investigation genuine or was it fake? This was really human. Sickness will always give you something. You mark my words. I appear to be ashamed that I even doubted about it, and it was slowly like. Now that the police is folded in this way, I am compelled to declare a verdict. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea. I thank you kindly, my lord. I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court.
Objection!
That's as I'm seeing him. Lord Band 6, my lord. The case may be the prosecutor's flawed, saint by simple. Indeed, the honest evidence was tampered with. The producers had fault for allowing such a disgraceful progressive justice to take place. My sincerest apologies, my lord.
Objection!
But wait! When we were embarking in our courtroom, Lord Banksy ordered the evidence to be secured. I'm afraid that the prosecution cannot stand responsibility in this matter. That's fair. The culpability of the defendant has not at the present time been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to prepare judgment. What? Well, Lord Bansix, it's been a pleasure, so it has. As for you, my dear fella, I'm gonna ask for a better defense. You tell me it's all been a grand waste of time? It's a law of the land, my good man. If you'd like to push this matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law. Magnus McGilded. Good grief, you want to say it to me, have you? There's one thing, a warning. This is far from over. Well, something to be looking forward to then. I hereby pronounce the defendant, Mr. Magnus McGilded. I can't believe it. It's an outrage. It's time the evidence more. What are you talking about? The man's been cleared. It's innocent. With the courtroom pandemonium for the second time that day, the judge delivered his verdict. My first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end. The defendant being found not guilty, ostensibly a victory for us. That certainly was a long trial. Yes, it was. You persevered triumph and soul in your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. My heartfelt congratulations. And to you, Mrs. Sato, thank you for your assistance. I suppose we should be happy. Trouble is we're still completely in the dark while the dancing happened. Well, we didn't have enough time. But isn't it wrong? I mean, who else was responsible for Mr. Mason's death? I didn't even know that. The sole aim of the defense is to obtain a verdict that exonerates the defendant. No, the role of the defense along with the prosecution is to determine the truth. You carried out your duty to perfection. Aye, that you did. Oh, Mr. McGilded. And that girl's with him too. Well, since the stories are true. Oh, what stories? But the 6-hour pirates seem to be letting up when there's a verdict of not guilty. I thought you must have seen it by now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say? Yes, definitely. I was excited to behold, and be sure it was. I have you to thank, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it. Gwa! I don't know about that, and I sure really did anything. What on earth are you saying, fella? How did I walk out there a free man then? I don't think it was so much thanks to me as down to your planning. You're a straight-talking fella, aren't you? Must say, you had led me astray the head there once or twice. But your young head's wrong. That is water in the bridge. Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name cleared. That is resolved. It's only one thing that matters to me. Oh? They've all seen that I didn't do that odious and obstinate deed. It's grand, is it not? I suppose it is. Now the fine fellas at Scotland Yard can take matters in hand and sort of in weed details. They'll see it for what it is, they'll get to the truth. I will see faith in them as I have after all. I do be providing a good number of their wages with all the taxes I pay. So then, as I agreed beforehand, 1,000 keys will— Oh no, I couldn't pause you said at once. Arby, we you're a humble people, are you from the east? Well, if you insist. But have this still and all, you deserve a reward. Mr. Magnus McKee. Everything is ready, sir. You'd like to follow me into the courtroom. The courtroom? What's this, officer? This window has led to believe. I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. It's time for the inspection. Sorry, what inspection? They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. They're going to examine it again, now. Naturally, I'm under the obligation to take part in this matter now. But as an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing my best to help wherever I can. It's a gentleman's duty, so it is. Fucking Willy Wonka. You won't get away with this. I swear it. So then, fare thee well. As with pleasure, boys. I hope you have a valuable time when you're studying here in Great Britain. And there he goes, the free man. Hey, Gina. Oh, I forgot she was here too. Go. Don't move. Or as I want to say, get a move on to your dusting for the little thing. Miss Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down? Yeah, grown up. Sorry? And I hate all grown-ups. Ah, there you are. Oh, it's Wilson. Ah, there you are. Naughty, naughty. Turning up like that? Is this some kind of picnic? Who's this little? And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to try one of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Ha! Oh, do you want to play? You won't beat me. Grr. Excuse me, who are you? Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose. The inventor? Well, normal smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White, white, more white. If you had to be shrouded in smoke, it could be at least 3 colors, I thought to myself. Do we have to be shrouded in smoke, though, at all? Just took my eyes off it for a moment while I was changing out a different omnibus to see pinched it. Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon. I'll tell it what's what? Anyway, you're coming with me now, back to my laboratory. What for? To apologize, of course, silly, to my technician. What, you mean, say sorry? You must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Sure, an adult has told you that before. An adult? I don't listen to adults. Come along then, follow me. Fine, how about your way? Oh good, you see, I know you want to do the right thing in the end. Very sure that what he wants to do is not get shot with a massive gun of yours. We'll be leaving now then. Bye bye. I'm so sorry for all the fuss. She was a lively one. Well, do you think perhaps you're— Yes, you're right, but... Where to? Oh! We haven't had time to find a place sane, nor and all the rankings are still with the bailiff. Was Reggie planning to spend today in search of lodgings? But this late hour in the day, I pray we may be uplocked. Don't worry though, I have a plan. The rest of us will have a lovely park where we can spend the night. Please tell me you're not taking up my Gilded Park. It may be a little chilly this time of year, but our youthfulness will see us through. I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person solid just as easy as an elderly one. Yeah, I'm gonna split this stream into 2 parts, goddammit. Oh dear, that doesn't sound agreeable. I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGilded down. Well, that's against my paper lovely warm room or mansion. And so, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. However, as we soon to learn, there are more trying times ahead. Just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned, the case was far from over.
Get the fire brigade! Water!
Of
Bring water,
course.
quick! What the?
Hey, it's Gregson.
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed.
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating. No. Oh, good God. There's someone in there.
This can't be.
My voice is her, maybe. I don't know. And that's the end of the episode. We're gonna be ending it there. It's been fun. I have gone past my limit as it is. Definitely so. Right, so that's all for next time, and that's all for now, and I'll see you all next time. Why did I confuse it?